Trainee Jones, what are you doing? Trainee Smith told you to finish cleaning. Give me 20 push-ups for failing to comply with the dorm chief's direction.
Lighten up. My detailed tasks are already complete.
Complete your motivational tools or you will be written up in the student leader report.
Trainee Jones has reason for concern. I know Trainee Brown can get aggressive, but I respect his eagerness. I've heard people talk about Trainee Brown's hardcore behavior, but isn't that what being in the military is all about? We've all got our own areas of responsibility, and maybe Trainee Brown is trying to get Trainee Jones to be a better wingman. As dorm chief, I can understand where Trainee Brown is coming from. Our MTI isn't always going to be available, and Trainee Jones undermining directions isn't making our job easier. On the other hand, Trainee Brown needs to remember that as dorm chief, I should handle those type of conflicts. If someone thinks a trainee isn't pulling their weight, they should come to me, not try to direct unauthorized motivational tools. I'm just trying to keep things from blowing up from both directions, keeping a lid on these personalities and trying not to get blown up from our MTI for not getting things done. It's a delicate balancing act. The way I see it, both Jones and Brown need to understand their place. But I don't know. Should I go to our MTI and report Trainee Brown for abusing his authority or confront him myself? What would you do?
Those push-ups aren't the only problem with Trainee Brown. He's been abusing his power as element leader ever since the beginning. And he says he's only holding everyone to a higher standard, but the thing is, he's going way outside of his authority. Those rules are set in place for one reason, to keep everyone safe. Trainee Brown isn't being a leader. He's being a bully. Only MTIs are allowed to issue motivational tools. Yeah, I'm pissed off. And Trainee Brown's always marching around here trying to bully everyone, when it's not just me. Everyone in this flight can attest to him abusing power. All I wanted to do was finish up a quick thought, and then I was ready to help. Cleaning was no problem. I just didn't hop up right away. Trainee Brown is on such a power trip that he never stops to ask questions or even give people time to respond. He's killing the morale of this entire flight. And some of the more gullible trainees are just plain scared of him. They'll do whatever he says. If Trainee Brown keeps this up, he's going to get his. This isn't what being a good leader is about. He's ruining the flight and putting the dorm chief's authority at risk because he's not doing anything.
I don't really see what the big deal is. Trainee Brown could see that Trainee Jones was just finishing his letter. He could have given him a minute. We're all homesick, especially Trainee Jones. Give the guy a break. I've seen Trainee Brown assign push-ups, shout here and there, but it all seems to be within reason. I'm not that sensitive of a guy, but I'm also not the one getting scolded. I just do what I'm told and keep my head down, Graduate and don't ask any questions. Even when you see things that aren't right. I mean, I've seen a lot of unprofessional stuff, including Trainee Brown, but as long as it doesn't get really out of hand, I guess it's okay. We'll just call it tough training and hope that nothing really bad happens.
You know what? I was brought up in a military family. I know the importance of running a tight ship. If I see a member getting out of line, I'm going to correct the behavior. If someone has a problem with my style of leadership, they can try to take my leadership position away from me. People that complain just can't keep up with my standards, so they complain my standards are too hard. I take the core value of excellence in all we do very seriously. There is no core value for feelings. Do you know who gets the wrath if expectations aren't met? Myself and the dorm chief. I'm not going to have anyone interfere with my reputation and training. Do what you're told and there will be no problems. It's that simple. If you want to say I'm being too tough on them, so be it.
I support the dorm chief decision to tell Master Sergeant Rodriguez about Training Brown's actions. I'm not the only one who has seen what he's doing around the dorm. He acts like he's the dorm chief, which he's not. I also heard Trainee Jones was not the only trainee he did this to. He did this to multiple trainees in the flight. Plus, I noticed he did not do this with everyone. If you liked it, you can do anything you want and get away with it. If Trainee Smith doesn't tell the MTI, Master Sergeant Rodriguez, I might just have to.
I understand the element leader's concern for helping out with details and reinforcing wingmanship, but Trainee Brown went outside his authority when he tried to issue motivational tools. I will be issuing Trainee Jones a comment. He will be reminded that any further interactions will result in more significant corrective actions. I also talked to Dorm Chief Trainee Smith about the importance of being a good wingman, and I thanked him for having the courage to bring this situation to leadership's attention. Trainee Brown will be issued a letter of counseling by Captain Park. He will be removed as element leader. I know that Trainee Brown had good intentions, but ignoring the chain of command and operating outside your assigned authority shows a lack of respect for procedures and authority.